hat on sometimes, and kind of go back to the days of when I was a teacher. And our guest today is Director of Seed Your Future, Jazmin Albarran. Jazmin, thanks for stopping by. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. And I appreciate you wanting to share these resources for those educators.
100%. And this is exciting. In Q3, we're going to be relaunching with Media Giant Productions a lot of education initiatives. So we're really excited about, getting back, and especially for the Neil Haley show, to kind of talk education again. But the thing is, defining STEM for people before we talk about seed your future and seed to STEM, because STEM is such an important part of us in education that still people aren't really understanding.
Right. And even just to go back, when people hear the word STEM, it resonates, but they go in so many different directions. And one of those definitely is not plants. So, Seed Your Future was created to help promote all of the careers within the horticulture industry. And think about it, a commercial greenhouse that is growing 20,000 plants, same height, same color, by a very particular deadline to get it into whoever is buying those plants. That's all science, lots of math, lots of technology that is making sure that those plants are delivered in time. And so, again, teachers hear that word, but they think about the pharmaceutical industry. They think about being a doctor, those things, the careers that you might see on a regular basis and know about. But there are so many others that also are pulling from those that they just don't know even exist.
Yeah, so talk about what you guys are doing with Seed Your Future, with this whole helping teachers to implement the curriculum. Hmm?
So we developed Seed to STEM in 2024. Last year was the first year, and we brought together 25 high school science teachers from across the country. Teachers are the ones that know what their students are into, what their passions are, what career paths they might want to pursue. But if they do not understand horticulture as an industry, as a career path, we can't expect them to have those conversations if they don't have the tools to drive the conversations and then to lead students for career exploration. It's not going to happen. So Seed Your Future has created that pipeline of, okay, here are some teacher trainings and here are some resources and then things that students can use to explore. So we brought, again, those 25 science teachers to Indiana and gave them tours of different horticulture spaces. So they got to learn about what public horticulture looks like. They went to Newfields, the museum, and learned about the horticulture there. We went to commercial greenhouse. They went to Corteva AgriScience and learned about plant protection. They went to Kennecott Brothers and got to see what the floral industry entails by visiting a wholesale florist, but then a wholesale seller, sorry, and then there was a florist that came on site to do some design work with the teachers. And then each teacher created a lesson that is connecting a high school science subject to a horticulture career through the Seed Your Future resources.
What types of jobs are available in this industry? Explain that. I think that's very, very
Any
important. That's going to motivate the kids when they're learning about this. Say, I really enjoy this, but does this have a career path?
On the Seed Your Future website, we have a list of 147 different career paths that someone can take with a horticulture degree. I know it's people can't
I
believe that
Yeah.
there are that many even, right? Most people, when they hear the word horticulture, they think about, okay, gardening, farming, the person mowing the lawns. And while those are components of the industry, there are careers in technology, careers in breeding, careers in marketing, in sales and communications. You can be a business owner. I mean, there are quite a variety of resources that you can do regardless of what your passion is, as it might relate to plants. So if you're someone that likes the outdoor, likes nature, likes plants, this can be a career and not just a hobby.
And when you talk about it, if you are marketing and you're like the marketing director and it's all outdoor work, there you go. It's outdoor filming, it's outdoor coordination. So there's just so many, and it's very interesting when you bring up any field, you look at that vertical market, you never think about all the things that go into that vertical.
Right. And how many places have plants, right? Again, these public gardens, they need someone to market the garden to get visitors to come.
The
Like there's
botanicals gardens. You're talking about all
yeah,
those
yeah,
botanicals.
botanic
Yeah.
gardens. Yeah. Think about a independent garden center, the ones that are selling the plants to the public. Well, someone has to do their Instagram, their social media to get customers in the door, right? So understanding the plants, the beauty, how they are, and then being able to market them to whatever audience that is, that's the whole job.
What were the teachers most surprised about when you presented this to them?
I mean, it was just incredible to see them walking through the different spaces and just having like those eyes wide open of like, oh, I didn't know. And I didn't know. And I didn't know that you could do so much with a horticulture degree. I didn't know you grew so many plants in one place. I didn't know that you needed electricians in this career. I mean, it was every 5 steps, there was an aha moment for them, which is really incredible to see because these teachers then created lessons that would help other teachers learn about this industry.
And I guess the ultimate goal of why you're doing this is to get more and more people in this career, right? Because
Absolutely.
is there a need? Are you seeing in a lot of those industries that they don't have the right people, the right components to keep going? Are you seeing a job shortage or what are you seeing in that?
We are seeing the shortage again because most people are pushed into other career paths. Parents, advisors are telling students, oh, there are no jobs in this industry, so go do something else. Just that lack of awareness of what we have to offer is one thing. And then also retirement, because people, when they come into this industry and they love it so much, they stay. And so over the next 5 to 10 years, many people are going to be retiring. So we want more folks to come into the industry, absorb all that knowledge that will be walking away in the next 10 years and bring innovation to continue to grow the industry.
So I'm an entrepreneur. What do you see specifically of a business to invest in or to start and get the right operator in when it comes to the green industry? What would you say?
I think everyone is looking at how to make things more sustainable, how to bring in technology, right? Profit, how do we grow more faster, get it out of the door. So I think that being able to have that combination of those two things will really impact the next phase of the horticulture industry.
Or I don't know if there is a podcast agency that only focuses on marketing to doing podcasts for that industry. So these are, I mean, like I said, this is where you can become really creative and looking at these companies and looking at these opportunities that are out there. Think out of the box in so many ways.
Absolutely. And that's what we want. That's what we want. Students go major in technology and minor in horticulture and bring all those awesome ideas into the industry, right? Major in horticulture and minor in robotics or AI. Having that dual knowledge, it's what's going to really boom this industry. And I tell students all the time going into that college and high school that your job might not even be here yet. You might be the person to come in and say, hey, this is missing. This is the gap I see between the software and the planting and the growing and the shipping. Let's create something to make it more seamless or faster. So the industry wants that. The industry wants to grow. The industry wants to be innovative and see where the next chapter of it can be.
And you're looking to grow plants in space. So this is where it just becomes more and more. What's it called? They do I remember hearing this before and I can't think of it. It's on the top of my tongue of where we can grow plants in space using something involving green. It'll
You
come to
know, I
me.
can't remember either, but yes,
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
been in
yeah,
space
yeah. So they're just,
the
but see, I think that
microgreens.
yeah, exactly. Just growing in places that can't grow plants. Look at the specific cities and how they're in a need. So there's so many different ways to look at this. And then I guess the science teachers also saw how much they need to put that into their curriculum that meets their standards, but also intrigues people that this is fun. This is great to be outdoors and creating things and seeing the beauty.
Yes. Being surrounded by trees, flowers, plants, or produce, people in this industry know you are impacting people every day, whether it's you're feeding them, you're clothing them, or you're impacting their physical, mental, and emotional health. Right? It's very rewarding to be in this industry.
And your hope is through high school. Are you doing this mostly for high school students, or
This
is
is
that? Mhm, mhm.
Seek to STEM is specifically for high school students, but our materials start for the middle school age and then up to universities and colleges because students need very different things in different life stages, and while they're in school.
And this is where you might say jobs that weren't the career path because of AI now ending those jobs. This is the time for you to really think out of the box and create something that can't be replaced by AI or could potentially be another opportunity for people. People have to look at they can now be their own boss and put things together. And this is an industry that's not going to die anytime soon because people
No,
love plants
well,
and you know and
besides loving
green.
plants, you have to think people always forget where do we get our oxygen from? Plants. Where do we
Yeah.
get food from? Plants.
Yeah. So
So
all those different,
absolutely.
totally all those industries. So what is the call to action for people listening and watching this? What do you hope
So
for this?
we want people to volunteer with Seed Your Future. We have several committees to help us do the work across the country. We need donations. We're a nonprofit, so donating whether you're an individual or a company to make sure that we can continue to offer Seed to STEM. And teachers, we want them to download our resources. We want them to have those career conversations in the classroom with those students. Any teacher can reach out to me and say, hey, I want to learn more about your resources. I will walk them through what we have to offer, which are all free for them to use.
Fantastic. Appreciate it. Thanks again, Jasmine, for coming by. Best place people can go again.
Seedyourfuture.org. And my email is jalbaran@seedyourfuture.org.
All right. You're listening and watching the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.